battery is disconnected. So if you pull the plates apart, you will do positive work and the energy stored on the capacitor will increase. It means the voltage will increase because Q will stay same. So this is what is happening. That's excellent. So this is what is happening. Let me redraw for you. So some of you may be not clear. So what will happen is that what we did now, we did like this. Now we pull apart these plates and we disconnect battery. So this one was D. This is D and here is 2D now. So in this case, as the battery is disconnected, charge has nowhere to go. Charge cannot leave. So it means charge stay same. And then you can figure out. Okay, excellent. Answer is E. Wonderful. Okay, electric field, for example, this is actually depends on charge density. So this is charge density over epsilon naught. So this is equal to Q over A times epsilon naught. Here, please. Okay, here. So this is how you can find. Okay, so this determine electric field intensity. Okay, so this is how we can figure out. Okay, so in this case, charge stays same here. Okay, this is same, this is same. So electric field here, this is same, but you increase the distance. So then you can find out E is also equal to delta V over D. So E stays same. If this is double, this also has to be double. So this also you can understand. Okay, so uniform you can also understand with this formula. So this is an easy way. Okay, so let's move on to next one. Okay, so this is answer. Okay, so let's try this one now. Okay, so please try this one first by yourself. I'm drawing for you so you can see what is happening. Okay, please, here I have written for you to help you a little bit. Tell me what is your answer. Yes, it should be A because you can see here the work done in this case is equal to Q times delta V. So F is given, D is given, Q you need to find, delta V is also given. Just rearrange this one and plug in numbers and you will get your answer. So hopefully this is the right answer. So if you got this answer, that's wonderful. So this is how we can answer. The work done is equal to Q times delta V. Electric force, because electric force is doing work in this case now. That work is equal to Q times delta V. Electrical potential energy. Okay, so answer is A. Now here please. Now try this one now. Okay, so this is something you need to understand is that voltage across battery at any moment has to be equal to VC plus VR by Kirchhoff's second law by KVL. Delta V has to be equal to 0. Okay, now if you solve you will get your answer. I think answer is right, is D. So this is, please, you need to understand, at any time KVL has to be true, delta V has to be 0. It means VB has to be equal to VC plus VR. VB means the voltage across battery. So then you can find out this is 12 and VC you need to find, then VR I is given to you and R is also given at that given time and you will work out, and VC in this case you will get is 7. So this is 7 volt. Excellent. So 7 volts you will get. Okay, excellent. Answer is D. How about this one? Little bit challenging, but you have to be very clear about this. So try this one now. Okay, let me help you a little bit. So here I wrote some points for you to understand. So this is immediately after. It means at time t is equal to 0. So simply we can say at t is equal to 0. So your capacitor will act like a wire. Just listen now. If you have done is wonderful. If you didn't finish until now, no problem. Let's try to discuss and try to figure out the right answer. So it means that it will act like a wire. So simply we can say that it's just like a wire. So this is just like a wire. So simply you can say it is like a wire. if this is a wire, for example, so we see the potential at this point is a wire, so there is no potential difference in an ideal wire, so there is no delta V. It means that if I say this is point 1, this is point 2, it means the V1 has to be equal to V2. So I will say at this point is V1, let's say at this point potential is V2, because this is just simple a wire, it means the potential here has to be equal to here. So let me clean this part. It means V1 has to be equal to V2. So the V1 has to be equal to V2. Okay, so V1 has to be equal to V2. So the first thing we need to understand is that the voltage across this one means the voltage drop across this resistor has to be equal to voltage drop across this one. Same voltage drop here, same voltage drop here. So that's reason, then it is possible that V1 will be equal to V2. So how we can find out how much voltage is dropped? So for that purpose you need to understand, if I have these two actually, can we draw like this? So you see voltage across this one is equal to voltage across this. Can we say these two resistors, they are connected in parallel? So another way to draw is I can draw like this. This is just a wire, I can just draw like this. Okay, so these two are in parallel. Then again these two, voltage across this one will be equal to voltage across this one. They are also connected in parallel. So you see these two are connected in parallel and these two also connected in parallel. But this one is in series with this one. So then you can also connect like this, or you can understand like this. So it is up to you. Otherwise you can understand from the figure, but this is one way to draw. You can understand like this. Now we need to find the total resistance. What is R total? So we need to find R total. So you see these two resistors are in parallel, so you can find the total resistance. So that one will be 400 times 100 divided by 500. Then they are in series, we can find total resistance of this. So this is 300 times 200 divided by 500. So then you can solve this one. If you solve, you will get, this is a 200 ohms. So we have find R total. So this one, please look at this. So we can find R total now. Now the next thing we need to find out is what is the total current in the circuit. So if you have this resistance and this is our power supply, we can find out I total. So that will be 12 divided by this is 200, so we can divide by this, and then we can find out total current. We can find out, so this will be 6 and this will be 100, so we will get, I think, 60 milliamps. Okay, so this is how you can just plug in calculator and you can see. So we will get 60 milliamps. So this is the total current is coming when you close this switch. So I will just write here for you that 60 milliamps is coming. Now at this point you need to understand is that this is 100 ohm resistor and this is 400 ohm resistor. Now how this voltage can be equal to this one? So how much current has to pass through this one? How much current has to pass through this one? You see, this is 4 times greater resistance. It means current has to be 4 times smaller. So V100 has to be equal to V400. If this is 4 times greater, means current has to be 4 times smaller. So this is 4 times smaller, current has to be 4 times greater. So we can divide this one into 5 parts. We can divide. So the each part, this is means in your head you can do, otherwise if you want to use formula. So the each part, if you divide into 5 parts, will be equal to 12 milliamps. So this has to be 4 times. So this has to be 48 milliamps, and this one has to be 12 milliamps. So then this potential across this one will be equal to potential across this one. So then we have the same potential. But now again you have to divide. At this point again you have to divide. This current is coming to this junction, so means is coming to this point. So let me little bit clean this one so you can see now in a different way now here. So now until this point we have understood. Now 48 milliamps is coming here and this is 12 milliamps. Now this one you see is 300 and this one is 200. Now in here again we can divide into 5 parts. So here how much current has to pass in this branch? So this has to be about 36 milliamps. And this one has to be 24. You can do it. If you are not clear, just ask me. So this is how you will get. Okay. Now how much current will flow this way? So in this case you can see now current is higher, this is lower, it has to go this way, then it is balanced. So 48, 12 we already have here, this becomes 36, so it means 24 milliamps. 24 milliamps has to flow in this from left to right in this direction. So then you can come, you can see this is the best possible answer like this. Okay, please look at this one. Lot of steps. If you understood is wonderful. If you are not clear, just ask me. Maybe 1 or 2 more questions we will do and then that's all for today. Magnetism and thermal physics we will cover in next class. Okay, so can we go to next now? Yeah, if you have any question, just please type if you have questions. Okay, so let's move to next one now. The similar type of question, little bit different, so that will also help you to understand RC circuit. So next question is also about this type of circuit. So let's try to do next one. Here now, same circuit, but we're gonna ask you question in a little different way. So first of all, read this question and try to answer by yourself. You see this question is about steady state, means after a long time. Steady state. So steady state, this is given to you now. So the steady state means that, so if you remember this point from our previous key point, so the steady point, when a capacitor has reached actually steady state, then capacitor is acting like, capacitor acts like open circuit, means no current will flow through that branch of the capacitor. So I in that branch in which capacitor is connected will be 0. So we have to understand this point and then we need to answer this. So what this one is telling me, it's if I close this switch, for example, if I close this switch, it means current is coming from here. So the current is coming from here. It will split at this point into 2 parts. Current go this way and current go this way. So you can also see if current I is coming here, let's say this is I, it will also go through this one. Same current through this one, same through this one. And the same will be true for the second branch. This is also true. Same I will be the same through these two because they are connected in series and no current will flow this way. So using this argument actually, so using this argument, now let's try to figure out voltage. If, so you need to understand this resistance is 100, this is 300. So the voltage across this one has to be 1/4 of this one. Means you can divide this voltage into 4 parts. 1 part of the voltage is dropped across this one and 3 parts across this one. So from this information we can write down So if we understand this point, so let me little clean this and write down for you. The voltage across this one then has to be equal to 3 volts. So this has to be 3 volt. So 3V, and the voltage across this one has to be 9 volt across this one, and this is double. So the voltage across this one means the delta V. If you attach voltmeter here, what you will see on the voltmeter, that will give you 8 volt. So this is straightforward. I hope this is not a problem. We can find out this one. Now, using this one, can I say that the voltage at this point, the potential at this point, that will be equal to 9 volts. And how about potential at this point? What is value of potential at this point? Potential at this point. So this is 9 volts, 8 volt drop. So it means this potential has to be 4 volt. So what is the voltage across this capacitor now? One side, excellent. It has to be C, excellent. So one side you can see is 9 volt, other is 4 volt. So we can see the voltage across capacitor, it has to be equal to 5 volts. So what we need to find, the question is asking you, we need to find the Q actually. Q, the charge on the capacitor. So we can QC we need to find. So we can say Q is equal to C times V. So the capacitance of the capacitor is given. So we have here. So this is 50 microfarad. So you have to multiply with 10 to minus 6. And the voltage is 5 volts. So if we solve this one, you will get this is 15 times 5, 75. So this is micro. So we will get micro coulombs. So this is our answer.